Okay. I have like a bunch of random appointments, but I have time. Is it only one? Does that work for you? Oh, which one? Okay, what time is it? At one? Another one? Oh. I put this green juice in my
Is that a sign-in sheet or is that your clipboard?
Dusty.
Oh, nice. Like I always have a clipboard, you know?
Yeah, this is all right, good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good morning. Good evening. Whatever you want to call it. Thank you guys all for coming. We appreciate you as always. We have our guest speaker who needs no introduction. Sam's going to be here. But first, real quick, we want to take a quick moment to introduce our 2023 ALC members. They found out yesterday at like 5 that I was going to have them here. So some of them have doctor's appointments and other things going on. But we do want to introduce them real quick. So real quick, if you're here in the ALC, I see a few of you. I'll introduce your names. You guys can stand up real quick for me. We got Philemon, we got Maria, we got Jason, we got Michelle, we got George, we got Rhonda, Jimmy, Becky, Christine, Mark, and Leanna. Thank you, ladies. Would you stand up for us real quick? George, thank you guys. We had a great meeting yesterday talking about what we're really trying to do within the office. And we have a great group of people that really do have a great heart of servant leadership, and they're really excited to get back to the office and see what we can do. They're going to be talking about different committees and fun things that's going to be going on, and they'll be introducing what they're going to be trying to bring. So pay attention, join their committees, get involved, because the more support you have, the more you're connected, the more we feel like family. A lot of you are very connected. Some of you not so much. And there's some faces in here I don't see as often, because Sam's here and we love it, but we love you guys, we appreciate it. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen in the back, for your guys' help and support in that.
Can I pitch?
Pitch away.
Okay, I'm pitching ALC. So ALC, in case you don't know what that means, we represent the agents in the office. So if you have ideas, we really don't want to hear all your complaints, but okay. Yeah, just give us the good stuff and we'll listen to the other. But we're here to help to make the office run smoothly, better, to meet your needs. So if you have needs that aren't being met, we kind of need to know so we can see what we can do, because we're gonna represent that to the company and see what changes we can make. So any good ideas for better improvement, anything that you need, you're lacking in your business, bring it to us. And please join the committees. The committees are here to service you guys also, but also gets us within the communities. We're gonna put our faces out there. We're gonna be advertising things. So it's another link for you to make more business connections. It's not just about doing stuff for the office, and but we're also making money for KW Cares, which helps many of our agents. I don't know if you've heard this, but some of our agents have been in terrible conditions and spots. We've had to go in and step in and help them to make it in medical conditions and things like this. It's super important. KW Cares is really something to think about. Our social committee, which Leon and I will be on, because you know how social everything is. But the social committee is about bringing the agents that you know that don't go to everything. We want everybody to be a part of the office. We want everybody to have the same benefits. So let's reach out. If you guys are here, a whole bunch of people aren't. Reach out to people you know, get them included, and let's make it like a really good year.
Awesome.
I just want to add, one of the biggest things that we want to do and we discussed yesterday is have an amazing culture. We want everyone to feel involved, that they're growing, career development, growth, fitness, everything that you can think of, we are trying to bring to the table. So speak up and be here.
Yep. Awesome. A lot of us don't really understand how Keller Williams works. We're actually more, I like to say, like kind of like the U.S. government. The ALC is your Congress, your Senate. Like, they are your group that brings the ideas and changes to the office, policy and guidelines. It's voted on. We keep minutes. Everything is run through the ALC. So any major changes or anything like that, it's not mine or Sam's fault. It's their fault. So you need to talk to them, get involved, and they're a great resource, guys, and they're there to help to make this this community be what it should be, which is a family that we all try to strive towards. Productivity. We want a culture around productivity and also a culture around family and being together. So that, Sam.
Right on.
All right. Good here.
Well, great to be with all of you this morning, and good to see you. I love teaching wealth building because I could see the effect that and the impact that's making on so many people. The other day, I was walking into a Starbucks right here on Rancho Vista, and Margaret Diaz was there. So I said, "Hey, Margaret, how are you?" We should get a hug. I said, "I haven't seen you in a long time." She said, "Thanks to you, I'm retired now, and because of your classes, we're retired comfortably, myself and my husband, and we're taking a lot of trips." Wow. That touches my heart. When Martha Johnson, she said, "Because of your class, I bought my first investment, it was a condominium, and tripled in value, and I became a real estate investor." When Kenny's wife, she gives me a hug, and she says, "Thank you for doing an investment with Kenny. That was very impactful, and we really appreciate it."
What, my wife give you a hug? I don't remember that.
And when I see Sam Shamoun in the office, and he says, "My investments put me where I am today, enjoying my time with my family and my kids, and life is great." That's what I want to see. And that's the impact that we want to make on each and every one of you. And just to show you that it's possible. Just think abundance, don't think scarcity. Think about the maximums that you can enjoy, not the minimums that you need, right? So with this class, I want you to resonate with it. I want you to become a millionaire real estate investor. And I'll be honest with you, here, we've raised more millionaires than any other place. I would love to compare resumes if somebody could say that we've done this and we've done. So, with that being said, I want you to understand that life is a game. And in order for you to play the game, you must learn the rules. Now, those rules are not taught in your high school, even in college. Those, you learn them where? In seminars, in books, and in a class like this. You learn the rules of the game. Now, those people that they watch, what happens to them? They watch playing the game. They pay the fee to come and watch the game, but at the end of the day, they're not benefiting, they're not growing, and the rewards goes to those people that they play the game. So I want you to play the game of real estate. You are in the real estate business, and you got to learn the rules to play the game. So I'll tell you, the books that you read, it's a translation in who you become and who you are. I remember a long time ago I read the book, The Greatest Salesman in the World. I fell in love with the subject, the greatest salesman in the world. I said, I want to know what the hell is that. So at the very beginning of the book, the author says, "I will persist until I succeed. I was not born into this world in failure, nor does failure courses in my veins." I'm like, wow, that's powerful. "I'm not a sheep waiting to be prodded by the shepherd. I'm a lion, and I refuse to walk, to talk, or sleep with the sheep. The slaughterhouse of failure is not my destiny. I will persist until I succeed." Since that time, persistence was my what? My power, and I've read that book on a daily basis, and it empowered me, and I go to work and I want to conquer the world. Why? Because that book was touching me. So I'll ask you, what's touching you? What's important to you? What drives you? In the book also says, "I'm going to shed my old skin that was bruised with failure and mediocrity." Wow, is that powerful? "I'll start each day with love in my heart." Is that powerful? So the books that you read translate to who you are, but make sure those words affect you. And you become what you read, right? So another seminar I attended, it was with Jim Droz, many years ago. He was a Century 21 agent. I just want to let you know that I used to be with Century 21. And when I attended his class, he says, you got to touch your clients on a regular basis and thank them and be grateful for the business that they're giving you, because without them, you would not have the business and you would not have the success. And I made that part of my life. I was touching my clients on a regular basis, appreciating them on a regular basis, because they're making a difference in my life. So the question, are you doing the same thing? You gotta have a strong real estate career in order for you to become a millionaire real estate investor. So that seminar, was it worth it to me? 5,000, 50,000, 100,000? It changed the trajectory of my business. And I remember I used to send, like on a Halloween, I dropped off it. This is a long time ago. I've been in the business for many years. I used to drop off pumpkins at my clients' houses. Right? Why? I just wanted to touch them, thank them, and see them. At that time, I also, like did a little bit of drawings, this, that. I mean, I kept my clients engaged with me. Because if they're not getting engaged with you, what happens to them? They're going to be engaged with somebody else. If you're not touching your people every 2 months, they're not your people. Don't call them your people. Don't call them your friends either. Right? You gotta touch them. You gotta see, interact with them. So, whatever our standards we carry, everybody has standards. So whatever you have in your checking account, that's your standard. You're okay with that. Whatever you wanna, your weight to look like, that's your standard. Whatever health condition you're in, that's your standard. So what is your standard for your business? What is your standard for your life? The life that you wanna live. You start with a business plan. The sad part is, I met with a lot of real estate agents during my real estate career. And a lot of them don't have a plan where they want to be 5 years from today. They don't have a plan. A lot of them. And very few do. So if you don't know where you're going, how are you going to get there? And this is your life that you're talking about. If you don't know where you want to be 5 years from today, then anywhere you end up, it's okay. Right? So you gotta put, first and foremost, you put a business plan. So when we have Rob teaching business planning clinic, not many people show up. Why? I don't know. Because I attended part of his class. He is phenomenal. It really put everything into perspective with his class. So this is a life by design, not a life by default. You put a plan where you want to be 5 years from today. In 1992, I said, well, I put a plan where I want to be in 2000. So I put a plan and I was targeting each year where I want to be 10 years from today. And the same thing needs to happen to you. Unless you don't care, which is okay. That's your life. I cannot want your success more than you do. I cannot make you more successful than you do. So you gotta want it yourself. Whatever that is, that's your standard. So there is a financial statement on each and every that we distribute to each and every one. The best gift that you can give yourself today is to, later on, I don't want you to do it now because it's going to take you a little bit of time, write down your assets and your liabilities. If you're okay with it, fine, perfect, you're in good shape. If you want to be somewhere else, put another, make a copy and write where do you want to be 5 years from today, financially. And why do you want to be there financially? What would that do? What would that do to you? Why is it important for you? And write those things down. Again, it's your life. And it's the only life you're going to live. Right? So write it down and write another one. Where am I today? Where do I want to be 5 years from today? Okay, so that's the financial state. It's assets and liabilities. Like I own this, but I owe this. I own this, but I owe this. And at the end, you have a net worth. Okay? Personal budget worksheet. We don't need to worry about it. So all of you here are on which category? The self-employed category, right?
Yep.
So there's 4. Is there any others? Either you are employed, an employee, or you are self-employed, you are a business owner, or you are an investor. Where do I want you to be?
Yes, sir.
I want you to be here, and that's the ultimate level you can reach in your financial world. That's where you want to be, right? And if you want to be there, you gotta, number one, read some books, get some seminars, and attend classes that will help you get there, right? So if you are here as a self-employed person, so what do? The good news and the bad news about being self-employed. You can fly as high as you want, as low as you want, or you can stay in your place, right? That's a choice you gotta make for yourself. So, as a self-employed person, you can grow your business, you can become what? A true business. And when you become a true business, when you start putting what? Employing others, and when you put systems in place. So when we say that we have the systems to help you, but unfortunately, guess what happens? You wouldn't even give us the chance to help you with your business. So when we say there's command, just give us your database. We're going to input all of this data into command with the smart plans to touch your clients. And what's your reason? Why you don't want to do that? Why you don't want to touch your clients? Why you don't want to have a system? And we have the personnel to support you, to help you, to guide you, to assist you to achieve that. And some would say, well, I don't want to give my data to Keller Williams. I don't want to give my data to this, to command. Okay, well, if you're not going to give it to command, which other system you're going to use? That's fine, use them. But what's the relationship with that company that you have? Does anybody, family members own that company, that CRM? No. So what's the difference? And with command, you take your data with you, right? So we have that to support you. Don't hold it back. The statistics are showing if you put 201 people from your sphere in command, it'll generate $100,000 a year. You have 400, you make 200. Yeah, the more you have, the more money you're going to generate. What's holding you back? It's there for you to help you with your business. Okay, so if that's something that you could do, that's something that you should implement into your business today. Again, if you're not touching your clients, they're not your clients. They're somebody else's. All right. The strongest or the highest word or the strongest word in the business dictionary is leverage. So what do we do when what's leverage? It's other people. Money, other people. Time. You use somebody else's time so you can focus on the activity that generates more productivity, right? So you gotta use other people's time and other people's money. Why investing in real estate is so important? Because you could leverage, right? So think millions. Why real estate? Why invest in real estate? Number one, it's accessible, right? So you can go and see it, access it, and anyone can buy it. Two, what happens to real estate over time?
Appreciation.
It appreciates over time.
Yep.
It's leverageable. What's leverageable? Why is it leverageable? When you go and buy a house, you say, you're gonna put 5% down, and you're gonna buy a house, and you're gonna get a loan for 95%. Is that leverage?
Yeah.
And when the property appreciates, does it appreciate on your 5% or does it appreciate on the 100%?
100%.
So if it goes up 3% a year, what happens to your money? Or 4 or 5 or 6% a year, what's happening now to your money? The most powerful tool you can have, the other day, just to off the subject a little bit, I have a friend, his name's Ed, and he's like rich. You're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars. So we were talking. He says, Sam, what made you the most money? I said, real estate. He says, where do you spend most of your time? I said, on other things. He says, why did you focus on real estate? And how true that is. And it's the same thing for him. He made all of his money in real estate. or most of his money from his real estate investment. So just to tell you how powerful is real estate investing. Rentable. So what happens when you buy a property? It generates income. But also what you need to take into consideration is that when I buy a property, is that putting money in my pocket each month. So you don't want to buy a property that you're going to put money out of pocket to support the property. So why, guys, this is the best area to invest in, by the way. Go try it other places. To buy a property and rent it, you're coming out of pocket. You're going to come out of pocket. Here, you put money in your pocket. And rent is rent. I don't care if it's in Beverly Hills or Palmdale. Rent is rent. And when the property appreciates, it appreciates in Beverly Hills and it appreciates in Palmdale. It's all relevant. So don't think, oh yeah, this area is so much better. No. The Antelope Valley is the fertile ground for investing, especially beginners. It's the best area to invest in. Improvable. So what happens over time, Ken?
Your property goes up in value.
What are we doing to this property that we're just put on escrow? We're
We're gonna put some
lining
sweat.
up the people that we're gonna use to fix it up,
Fix it up.
right? So we're gonna put some sweat equity, we're gonna fix it up, and we're gonna improve the value, and we're gonna sell it, right? So it's improvable. So you buy it right, you fix it up, and then what happens to the value of the property? Yeah. It just drives me crazy when I hear that Investor X is buying so many properties. It's like, why not us? You buy it. Okay? Deductible, depreciable, deferrable. So what does that mean?
Tax benefits.
All tax benefits. It helps you with your taxes. So basically when you pay taxes, what happens? When you pay insurance, when you pay interest, what happens to all of those? It's deductible. You deduct it out of your taxes, right? So it has so much stable. It's slow to rise, slow to fall, except in the last few years it was quick to rise. Livable. It's a shelter for so many people, right? It's people need a roof over their head. So buy a million. Learn the path of money. Understand how money works. Money goes two ways. It comes to you and you spend it. You want to make sure what goes in is a little bit more than what goes out. But if what goes out more than what goes in, what happens? You're in trouble,
Yeah.
right? So you want to understand the path of money and how money works. So when Albert Einstein says, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Those who learn it benefit from it, and those who don't pay. So once you understand how money works, how interest rate works, how appreciation works, you're in pretty damn good shape. And that's what I want you to be. I don't want you to retire poor. I've been poor, and it's not fun. It's not fun to worry about the rent at the end of the month. It is not fun. I don't care how you slice it, you dice it, you make it better, you sugarcoat it. It is not fun. It is not fun when you tell your son, I cannot afford a box of cereal. It is not fun. Okay? So learn the path and budget for investments. Budget for investments. As you buy real estate, you'll see with that sheet that I gave you, your net worth, you will see that, wow, my net worth is now a little bit more. Wow, my net worth is a little bit more. Now what's happening? Each year, when you buy another property, when the property appreciates, what happens to your net worth?
Rises.
It rises, it's going up. And you will see, because a lot of people want to see richness instant. It doesn't happen unless you win the lottery. It's a process. You're not going to take the elevator, boom, immediately to success and money and rich and it's not going to happen. You got to take the stairway, step at a time, boom, 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 till you get to the top, right? And that's what but a lot of people, they don't have the patience, or they don't understand that they gotta pay the price. No free lunch. No free lunch. So when you learn this, everything else becomes secondary. Okay, the financial model, cash flow, that's what it is. It gives you cash, it appreciates over time, and you're paying it down. You're paying it down. And this is how it works. So when you buy property, you put what? An investment, let's say you bought a property for $1 million, 4plex, you paid $200,000 down with the closing, let's say $250,000 cost you. So what happens to your investment over time? Does it change?
You pay down.
What happens to the debt over time?
Diminishes.
You're paying the debt. So, for example, in my house, I owe, so each month I look and say, oh, okay, going down a little bit, going down a little bit. So what happens over time? It is adding more to your net worth. So as the debt is being paid down, guess what happens to your net worth?
Goes up.
It goes up, right? So your debt is going to be over time. What happens? It's paid off. Over time, it's paid off. What happens to the market value over time? It goes up. So the property that you bought for $1 million over time, it's worth 2, 3, whatever, right? So it's increasing in value. You're paying the debt. So two things are happening at the same time. You're paying off the loan, and you're increasing the net worth of the property. It's a double whammy. So how could you lose in real estate? You can't. Okay? The second thing is appreciation, and if you're renting it, what happens to your cash flow? So the vacancy and expenses is pretty much the same. Your cash flow today, when the rent goes up, what happens to your investment? What happens to the return on the investment?
Increases.
It increases. What happens as the rent goes up? And when the rent goes up again, guess what happens? You're making more and more, you homes, we used to rent them for $1,000, $1,200. Today, it's like $3,000, $2,800, $3,500, depending on the house. But before, it was like $1,200, $1,400. Now doubled and maybe sometimes tripled in rent. So what happens to the value? What happens to your cash flow?
Goes up.
It's going up.
And your net worth.
And your net worth is going up, right? So the network, how do you find the properties?
We're realtors. Sometimes they come to us.
Prospect, title company.
Prospect, title, what else? Friends, relatives,
Yep.
people that you know. The more you tell, when the world knows that you're an investor, the world will bring you investments, right? But when you're keeping yourself as a secret, like nobody knows that you're an investor, you can find it. And do you think investors find those great investments on the MLS? Yeah, they do.
Sometimes, yeah.
They do. I have a friend who has a used car sales. He called me, he says, I have this lady that she wants to sell her house, and yada, 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 yada. We ended up buying it, right? Why? Because he knows that I buy real estate. He called me. So when you tell others, others will send them your way. Lead generation, you gotta know what you buy and what you will not buy. So for example, when somebody sends me a property, I would know in minutes that if it's a good investment or not a good investment, if it meets my criteria or does not meet my criteria, I will know right away. But why I love buying in the Antelope Valley? Let me ask you this question. Why do you think I like to buy in the Antelope Valley?
You're never gonna run out of renters.
That's one. But also, I know the area so well that I would know if it makes sense or not. I mean, I know pretty much every street, every house, every neighborhood. So I kind of know exactly what needs to happen. I understand the rent, what could happen. And I have my connections for people to go and fix it. I know the roofers, so I know everybody. So it makes it easy for me to invest in the Antelope Valley. And same thing with all of us, right? So to go to say, you know what, oh, I want to invest in West LA or this. So they send me those properties. I don't know the neighborhoods. I don't know, unless I go there physically and do a lot of work and a lot of research myself, I wouldn't know if it made sense or not, right? So it takes a little more effort if you want to find out about other areas and other investments. Here, it's affordable, and you know the area so well that you can determine if this is a good investment or not such a great investment. Okay, so this is networking is one way to find properties, real estate agents, MLS, driving, walk-in, internet, foreclosures, These are the sources that you could tap into to find some of those great investments.
Can I say something
Yeah.
about that? I think the most important thing is to think like an investor. Then when an opportunity comes your way, you'll
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'll pass right by you.
You absolutely 100%, I agree with you. If you don't think like an investor, you would not see the opportunity. The minute you start seeing yourself as an investor, oh yeah, this makes sense. Or no, oh yeah, this does not make sense.
I'll double down on that. In my first year of real estate, I was thinking like a real estate agent, and I came across a listing that needed to be flipped. And I immediately went to a real estate mindset of, can I double in this? And I was so excited that I found the investor to double end it, and they bought it and flipped it. And how stupid that was, because I could have came to Sam, I could have came to Kenny, I could have came to any of the agents here, and I could have been a part of the flip. And I probably could have double ended it and resold it, and been a part of it. But I was so excited just to double end a $200,000 home that that opportunity passed, because I wasn't thinking like an investor.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a good example.
I think I could ditto with you, because I think, Sam, when we first met, I told you about a property that I had looked at, and the owner was giving me preference.
Yeah.
It was my place to lose. That's really what it amounted to. But when we talked and we found out there was another way, well, the opportunity had gone. But right here, learning what we learned right here gave me the tools that I can use. That opportunity's gone, but there's
Right.
another one coming.
Yeah, yeah.
See,
Yeah.
so I have learned from that, and I really appreciate the time we had that we went through. It was a little late for that particular situation, but it was a growth period.
Yeah. What you think you are is who you are, right? So when I read the greatest salesman in the world, I had no doubt in my mind that I am the greatest salesman in the world. I was not like, oh, yeah, maybe I am. No. I am the greatest salesman in the world. And I am selling real estate, and I'm gonna, no matter what, achieve my goals. I believed in myself. And a lot of times, if there is self-doubt, there is no results or weak results. You cannot doubt yourself. If you don't think that you are the greatest salesman, they're going to use somebody else. If you're not thinking that you are the best agent for your clients, they're going to go use somebody else. Right? So what we think of ourselves matters. Okay. So cash building, I spoke about that. Okay, the terms worksheet. So I put those sheets in front of you. If you input the numbers, there is no way that you will lose money. So you tell me about a guaranteed investment. I've invested a lot in real estate during my years, right? I've never lost once. Not even on one property. If you do your homework right, I guarantee you, it's going to be next to impossible to lose. If you plug in the numbers and live by the formula, you're going to be just fine. So there's no other business with guaranteed results like real estate. Okay, so there's two sheets. One is, I put an example there, just to show you, like if you were to buy it, the numbers that you need to plug in to give you the results that you need to see. Whether you buy and sell or buy and hold. Okay, there you go. All right. My intention with this class is to open your eyes to the possibilities that if others can do it, so can you. Run some inventory. What did God give them that did not give you? Why they can do it and you don't? Why they think investments and real estate investing and you. So sometimes we put those ideas in our heads. Oh yeah, I don't have the money. Oh yeah, if you find the opportunity, the money will show up, right?
Okay.
If you start thinking about yourself as a millionaire real estate investor, you will become a millionaire real estate investor. So the opportunities would not show up if you put a block on your. I'll give you an example of what happened one time. One time we had an office awards at the country club. There was about 70, 80 agents, I don't know, 78, 80 agents that they went to the awards, maybe more. I was driving with Mark Chappell to the awards, and I saw this, this house on the left hand side. I said, Mark, this is a pretty beat up house. I would like to know more about it. On our way back, let's stop by and look at it. Why did I see it?
You can like it a bit?
Thank you.
Why other 80 realtors did not see it?
It's
not part of their
audience.
They're not thinking of themselves as investors, right? So we stopped by. I said, Mark, we pulled the information on the property, and Mark called, I asked Mark to call the owner. It happened to be, she's an attorney, that she took this property as fees for her defending the client. So she has the property. She wanted to sell it. We ended up buying it. Mark and I bought it. And we made decent amount of money, So the idea is, if you don't see yourself as an investor, you're not going to see investments. You've got to think of yourself as an investment for the investments to show up and you start seeing them. So my question to you today, what is it that you're going to implement in your business from what we just learned? What is it, the steps that you're going to take from what we just talked about today?
Number one, figure out what my current assets are. Number two, figure out where I want to be in 5 years. And number three, come up with a plan to get there.
Yes, 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 yes. Right? When you're lost in a mall, what happens? You go to this information
Yes.
that says you are here, right? So, and if you want to go somewhere, it's okay. I want to go there, so I think, right? Same thing. This is our life. This will tell you where you are financially, and where do you want to be financially. Write it down, whatever that is, and write a plan how you're going to get there. And believe me, you can eat an elephant one bite at a time, right? So money is not important until you need it, right? I know one time I went with a friend of mine. His mom had a stroke and she needed to be, she would need to be cared for. So he says, "Come on, come with me. Let's go to this place. Let's check it out." I go there, and it freaked me out. And I swear to God, I'm glad I went because it motivated me more. In my will, I write, I want to be home taken care of until my death, right? So because what I saw there, I said, man, don't leave your mom here. This is terrible. You don't want her to end up here. I said, find a solution. Somebody will take care of her at home. And that's what we want, all of us. And we don't know how our life is going to transition to be in the future. And where do you want to end up? You don't want to end up in like leaving you like this and outside, and it's like a parking lot for older people. With their beds. I'm like, oh my, it scared me. And I'm glad it did, because it kind of, gave me a perspective. Like, I don't want this. I don't want to end up there, for sure, right? So I don't want any of you to end up there. And you can, if you do. But you don't want to sit and watch other people do it while you are not. My commitment for everybody that wants to, Because you cannot, if somebody does not want it, I don't care how hard you try. They don't want it, right? For those that do, would have the motivation, the inspiration, the tools, the help, the guidance, the support to get you there. And that's my commitment to this office, is to help you in any way I can. And I'll tell you, as you help, you'll get help, right? So, and no one succeeds alone. Everybody says, oh, I'm here. No, there are other people help you along the way to get to where you are today. And don't, hurt the hand that helped you and guided you and assisted you. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day that he's a partner in a business. So anyway, he was selling the business, but yet when he sells the business, he wants to cause damage to the business. And I'll be completely candid. He's selling his stocks in a real estate company, and then after he sells them, he wants to recruit from that real estate company. I said, man, where is your integrity? Don't do that. He says, well, this. He started giving me excuses. He says, I'm going to get this. It's going to be $100,000. I said, okay, so your integrity is worth $100,000? There's no price tag you can put on your integrity. Always do the right thing. I'm going to give you another example. I'm negotiating to buy a small piece in a company. And two other people want to buy it as well. One says, well, I'll pay this much. I said, well, I'm going to negotiate to pay less money for that investment. She said, that's fine. So I negotiated with the guy for a lower price. I could not take the lower price myself and deprive the other two that are buying with me. I couldn't do it. I said, you know what? I lowered the price, it's for all of us, not just for me. And it's the right thing to do. I could sleep home, comfortable, and no guilt, no something that's bugging me inside. Do the right thing, it always goes a long way. It always goes a long way. So I just want you to know that we are committed to helping you in any which way we can, supporting you in any which way we can. What other things you're going to be implementing besides writing down what's your net worth today and where you want to be 5 years from today? What else?
Change your mindset a little bit.
Change your mindset. I love what my son Rami the other day was telling me. He says, my mindset has to be in alignment with my goals. Because if it's off, it's not going to happen. And I said, oh no, that makes a lot of sense. Your mindset has to be in alignment with your goals. What else?
Getting very specific and intentional with the new self beliefs and the goals and focusing on it with intensity every day.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody else?
I would have a profit and loss to know where I'm spending my money and what I need to change to save more money to be able to invest.
Yes. The biggest gift you could give yourself if you want to build a comfortable retirement like Margaret and other people, you gotta invest. No other way. No other way. The best vehicle is your real estate investments.
One of the mistakes I made, there's been a couple times where I made a big chunk of money, and then it just dissolved away.
Yeah.
It just went away. I don't know if I got lazy or what, or quit looking for opportunities, but it just dissolves away.
Yeah.
There's got to be some kind of mechanism to reinvest that money,
Yeah.
and to keep growing it. And I think that goal is where it comes in.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll just be content with you'll score and then go on vacation.
Yeah, a lot of, we're programmed to spend money, and spending money is fun. Let's be honest with each other.
Easy.
It's easy, right? So unless we discipline ourselves not to spend it irrationally and build on it. So I'll give you an example. I did not drive a nice car at the beginning, right? Because I didn't feel that I can or I should. My first car was horrible. And my, when I take my clients, I remember I could not turn on the air condition because it was heating up. So I said to my clients, sorry, lower your windows. And it was hot, in August, right? So I stayed with that car until I was able to buy, another car. Guess what I bought? A Honda Accord. Why did I buy a Honda Accord at that time? Because it's reliable, dependable, cheap on gas, and all of the above, right? I did not drive, and I see some people, the minute they make a few dollars, they spend what? They start doing what?
Buying liabilities.
Buying liabilities. They buy a nice, super nice car with a gas guzzler, right? So, because my goal was more important than the car. Now, if the car is more important than your goal, then yes, it's fine. Or it doesn't matter, then it's fine, right? And we stayed in a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home for a long time. And I was buying investments, but I stayed in the same smaller house until later you do. I mean, I'm not saying that, hey, listen, don't enjoy life, don't spend money on yourself. Do, but also keep your goal as the focal point until you meet that goal. Then you can splurge yourself. So when I opened this office, I said, once I hit 100 agents, I gave myself a goal. I'm going to go buy me a Mercedes 550 convertible. But until we got to the 100, I did not. So you reward yourself later. You give yourself a goal, and then you reward yourself. But a lot of us, we want to reward ourselves first before we do anything else, right? What else? Any other ahas?
Budget for investments first.
Budget for investments. Yes, yes. You got to put a budget for investment. You got to invest because the path of money, like I said, it goes two ways. But if you're spending it at the same rate that you're making it, guess what? You're walking on a treadmill. You're not going anywhere.
What would you say to somebody who says, well, I don't make enough now to even get by? How am I going to invest?
Okay, great question. What's holding you back from making enough?
Sam, can I share a story?
Sure.
So I started working with Sam October 2011, and it was my first job. I didn't have any money saved, and I went to him 2012 and I said I want to buy my first property. And he put me on a plan. In 2013, I think in June, I bought my first one. And it wasn't one person job. He invested time in me and I listened. Whatever he said, I did. I was on a mission. And we succeeded, I believe. And
You did great. You did great, yes.
I'm so happy.
Yes.
I was lucky and I was smart. I listened to him. So please, ask him, go to him.
Yeah, I mean, if I can help in any way, believe me, I swear to God, it gives me the greatest pleasure to see you succeed, guys. That's my reward. That touches my heart. And I feel like I have a life with a purpose. The life is not just me, right? If you think that way, you're not a leader. You're a selfish leader, right? But as you grow in life, you start thinking about we. What can we do to improve and help and guide each other? And be supportive of one another. So if you receive an offer from somebody in the office, try to work with somebody in your company, because together everyone succeeds more. Come from that mentality. Believe me, it'll pay off. It'll pay off.
Do you have a goal for how many millionaires you want to create?
You know what? Honest to God, I wrote down all of. I don't want to go over names because it's personal and private information for our agents. But we have a lot of millionaires in this company. We have a lot of millionaires in this company. I'm talking about net worth $1 million plus, right? We have a lot. You'll be surprised. And that makes me feel proud of what we've done. Right? We've raised more top producers in this company than other companies have done. And I look and see what others are doing and compare to see what we're doing compared to somebody else. So who you are in business with matters. Ladies and gentlemen, Thank you so much for being here today. I hope I made a difference in the way you think, and hopefully I made a difference in the way you think about investing to live the life that you deserve to live. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
I had to buy a car. I didn't crap, I was driving.
Somebody else will want to go.
Well,